morning, everybody. We were gonna do Awaken Realms first thing this morning, but I changed my mind at the last minute. I was like, you know what? I'm in the more of a mood for something comfort food. So we're gonna play a little bit of Skyrim this morning. We may switch over and play Awaken Realms in a couple of hours, or I may stream that this afternoon. I don't know yet. What's up, buddy? You coming in to say hi? Do you want to say hi to everybody? Where are you going? I just realized the lid's not on my trash container. Didn't even notice that until I saw it on the camera. Twas behind the door. Come on. What are you doing? Oh, he's got the zoomies. He wants me to come play with him. He literally just ran out the door and peeked his head around the corner, rubbed his cheek all over the door, and then I just saw him flip around and his tail went whoosh, and he went running down the hallway. He wants Dad to come play with him, but Chris is still, she's still sleeping, so I'm not going to go play zoomies with him. Usually what we'll do is when he has the zoomies, I will run out the hallway and chase after him and do the pss, pss, pss thing. And then he'll jump on the bed, we'll play on the bed, and then he'll jump up in the window, and I'll go over the window and he'll bat at me a few times. Then if I come back walking this way, he'll jump down and chase me all the way into the kitchen. And then he'll want to do it. He'll want to do that 5 or 6 times before he burns out. I can't do it right now because Chris is still asleep. It is 4:45 in the morning. What's up, everybody? I don't remember what quest I was working on. Wipe out the silver hand. Oh, that's right. We gotta make a long trek. We should head out over here, because that'll put me right by the road. Streamlabs didn't do the hand. What hand? East and north. And put me right on the road.
Greetings, brother. You look weary. I have something to help you relax, if you're interested.
Uh-huh. What are you talking about?
The finest skooma, the sweetest moon sugar, at a fair price, of course.
No thanks.
Each has their own way.
I've got my own organics that do just fine, sir. Interesting up here.
You open! I'm sorry.
You got it under guard.
I know you.
Yeah, you got it under control, buddy. I have good days every day. But thanks for asking. I do have some shoulder pain. I took like 2 weeks off from doing any push-ups. And then 3 days ago I did a bunch of push-ups and put a crick in my shoulder.
You need something?
And then when I went and did pull-ups yesterday, I've aggravated it a little bit. I'm very sore this morning, but apart from that... mosquito in here? Got a good night's sleep. Woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Got up, did some video editing, had some oatmeal, a couple bites of leftover steak from last night. Made a cup of coffee, well, a pot of coffee, on my second cup. It's a good day. Playing some Skyrim. Probably gonna play some Awakened Realms later. I'm gonna probably do one more Hightail session, and then I think I'm gonna be done with the early access for now. I really enjoy the game, and I'll talk about this in my review when I do the review for it. I gotta wait for controller support. I can't do extended mouse and keyboard sessions. It just kills me. I also saw that the Norse game is going to come out in February. I think they said February. I was surprised. I didn't expect it to be out already. But they pushed the console release back, so it's only going to be PC when it launches, and then it's going to be a bit for console, which is fine. But at the same time, I was like, damn it, mouse and keyboard. I don't know that I want to play it on mouse and keyboard only. And then that medieval game with the woman, I can't remember, the X something, launching on March 12th. There are too many games launching on March 12th. I'm already locked into Solasta 2 early access. I can't play all the games. There's like 4 games launching on March 12th. Not going to happen. Merce says, just want to say your videos around immersing yourself in game as a character rather than following the crowd or min-maxing has helped me get into RPG games. Appreciate it. You are welcome. It's the only way I know how to play. Don't get me wrong, I will min-max if I'm on my like 3rd or 4th character, but first time through in particular, I want to play vanilla, I want to play immersed, I don't want to look things up. Second time, like I'm on my 2nd time with Skyrim right now. I haven't had a problem like looking up hints of stuff.
All right, hand over your valuables, or I'll gut you.
Do we use a mocha pot? We have 2 mocha pots, but we use those for espresso. We have a giant stainless steel. We have a 1 liter. Might even be 1.5. I'd have to look at the box again. It's a 1 liter stainless steel French press, which we've had now for, God, like 8 years. That thing's a beast. Never had to replace, knock on wood, a thing on it. It's a big old stainless steel French press. So every morning, I get up, I feed the cats, put the kettle on the stove, clean out the. That's my routine. Get up, feed the cats, put the kettle on the stove, clean out the French press from yesterday, put new coffee in it, put my oatmeal in a cup, walk around the house, sit down, answer emails, cut a YouTube short, TikTok short, Instagram reel, publish that, kettle goes off, pour everything in the things, go outside, have a quick moment of meditation with Santa's salad, and then I come back in, pour a cup of coffee, eat my oatmeal, sit down and start my streams. Pretty much the same routine every day. Walk away right now.
Nice try, but you don't scare me. I'm not going to ask again.
I don't have time for this.
Don't you walk away from me. Never should have come here.
That's what you get, thief. Now what do you have for me? Thank you very much. How are we doing on location? We need to go left here. The funny thing is too, for me, I have an easier time getting immersed when I play first person. Good morning, Allie. Which is why I will always prefer to play first person over another POV. The worst for me is top down, like isometric, so like Baldur's Gate 3 style, or you know, Rogue Trader, those types of games, even like Diablo, those ARPGs. Anytime I'm in a detached POV from the character, I feel detached. I've never been able to roleplay those characters as I do first person. It just doesn't feel the same to me, and I know it's a personal thing. I feel when I'm playing a third-person action RPG, third-person game in general. Anytime I'm playing a third-person game or an isometric, I feel like I'm playing a character, right? I feel like I'm definitely playing a video game. Whereas when I'm playing first-person, I get more of an immersive, emotional feeling, and I realize that's a personal thing. But I get a lot of people who ask why I prefer to play first-person when there's obviously a third-person POV. That's the simple answer. I like it from an immersion standpoint. I don't know why this mosquito. Hang on. It keeps coming back, and it's like right in front of my nose and face. But it's a tiny little one, and I haven't been able to get it yet. And I don't want to like smack my mic. And now there it is. Anyway, random things this morning. Who the fuck are you? Oh, this is the guy that's coming along with me to the mission. This whole time I thought I still had Lydia with me. Oh, Jesus. That's what happens when you save a game and end a stream and then come back like 3 days later and you're like, wait, what happened? Yeah, let's keep going up around these mountains. We might be able to go up over through. It is fun, Monty. It's definitely a far more faster way to play the game compared to the Sneak Thief. Because the Sneak Thief, you're being cautious all the time. You're trying to get to the perfect shot so that you can get your sneak attack and headshots, quadruple damage, and all that stuff. And this character's like, rah! Fuck you! It's definitely a faster approach to the game. I'm gonna go through here. Children are running around the house like psychopaths. I had to lock Frodo up this morning. So we've had this black male cat who's been coming around a lot recently, provoking problems. And this morning I wake up, he was on top of the chicken coop, and our chicken coop has a sheet metal roof that butts right up against the catio which has a bunch of chicken wires so the cats can't get out. And he was right up against the chicken wire on top of the catio, on top of the chicken coop roof. And I go out, I hear this horrible noise as I'm making coffee and everything, and I open up the door, and Frodo is like hanging on the chicken wire, trying to get to the cat on the other side of the chicken wire, who's just sitting there on the roof, like mocking him. And then Frodo, or Smeagol, was down below with his paws up, trying to jump up as well, and they were both just freaking the fuck out. Because this stupid male cat who's just sitting there pissing all over him. So I had to put Frodo in the cat shelter and put Blanca inside, because he already had that incident where he hung himself with his back foot, and we had to take him to the vet last week. So it's been an eventful morning. Allie says I'm sweltering, but otherwise all right. Yeah, it's summertime in Australia. I will be sweltering shortly, Allie. In May is my hot month. We usually get 45 to 47 is... Yeah, it gets hot. Thankfully, I've got another... We're in January, end of January. We got one more month of really good weather. Before I have to start like running the AC 24/7. Right now, I pretty much only turn the AC on like... Depends on the morning, but... usually by like 9 or 10, I'll turn on the AC. Like the last... we've actually had warm days. Yesterday was 31, today's 32. But tomorrow it's dropping to 26 during the day. 26 Celsius is the max, and we've got like a week of like 25 degrees Celsius every day, which is going to be beautiful weather. Yeah, 26 C at night. Yeah, that's not... Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Huh? The good thing is, for us, Allie, I will say this is one of the reasons we put the expansion on the roof that we've been putting on, is because of the heat. Everyone has told us that once you put like a roof on and everything else, that it'll drop the interior temperature by like 5 degrees Celsius during the summer times. So we're really interested to see how that is going to change the atmosphere within the house. Because they'll have the sheet. I think he's supposed to. He'll finish next week sometime, and then Chris and I are going to go up and do it ourselves. We're going to put up a half wall around the rest of it, so that should keep the roof from getting very much sun at all. It might get a little bit at a certain time of day, but it'll the way we have the roof now, and we have a half wall that's going around the western and southern sides. So any sun that does come in will hit that half wall, and it'll block it from getting on most of the rooftop. It might touch on the far eastern side. And then we have the rooftop, which keeps it from the mid-afternoon sun, so that'll hopefully... Oh yeah, it's definitely tropic. It's like 65% humidity to 85% humidity where we live. Yup. It's usually like an average of like 70-ish. 65 to 70, but we have, when it rains, it gets up to like 85, 90%. Maudie says, I'm in Pennsylvania, about to be blasted with a snowstorm. Yeah, my brother was telling me about the cold snap that's about to hit. Blueface is negative 15. Good morning, Angus, if I missed it. I have a homestead in Mexico. Yes. I do tend to spend, in the past, we've spent a lot of time with my brother at his place, which they're up in Missouri in the United States. But ever since we bought the homestead, we have spent more and more time here. I'm debating right now. So I've been a permanent resident for 11 years. And I'm debating actually naturalizing, finally. I still have to figure out if the complications for taxes and stuff, but Um, I've been here long enough now. So like this, it's funny because like um, I went to so we've been watching our grandniece, and I had to go get a copy of my permanent residency card. I had to get a copy of my card to give to the school because I'm one of the authorized guardians that can pick her up from school. And the teacher was giving me shit. She's like, "You speak Spanish. You're Mexican. You're married to a Mexican woman. You know, you have permanent residency. You're living in the middle of Mexico." She's like, "Why don't you have your actual, your actual? Why haven't you naturalized?" And I was like, "Well, for a long time, I was traveling for a long time, and so there are restrictions when you're traveling, or excuse me, there are no restrictions when you're traveling if you're just a permanent resident. But the moment you become a naturalized citizen, there become restrictions on how long you're allowed to stay out of the country and everything else. And it's a long period of time, but I've always avoided it because I never wanted to be like locked into not being able to go somewhere for, you know, a while. But they've relaxed it quite a bit. I think it can be 5 years now. It used to be a much shorter period of time, and I think now you can do like 5 years somewhere else before they're like, hey, if you're not living here anymore, you know. But I don't think I don't think there's anywhere that we would ever go for that. I mean, at the most we have discussed is owning a second property somewhere else that we use as like a vacation home. So, you know, like we both really loved Spain, we both really loved Ireland. And so we've talked about in another 10 years the potential for buying like a vacation home somewhere in one of the locations we really like, and then you spend 3 months out of the year there, you know. But that's not a restriction. So um, I'm debating potentially looking into naturalizing this year. We'll see how it goes. If it does, I'll be documenting that journey because I got to do a lot of studying, and I would have to do history lessons, learn the national anthem, and all that fun stuff. Songs, vampire dust.
I think you're bleeding.
Man, has anybody done melee combat in Starfield? Because this is making me really question whether I might want to try a melee build in Starfield. Because holy shit, the melee in this game kicks ass. Other than the targeting does suck balls, but I love the critical hits and just the feel of everything when you actually cut into a bad guy. But it makes me wonder, because I have never once tried melee in Starfield. It may be a thing where all paths lead up there. Let's go see.
What was that?
That was me coming to chop you into little
Over here.
pieces.
Just die!
God damn. I love this axe. Yes, there are melee weapons, Raven. Yep. There's daggers, katanas. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. There's multiple types of melee weapons, but I've never used them. I've always played ranged characters. Is my house next to the homestead? The house is on the homestead property. It's not really a lot of people when they hear homestead, they think living in the middle of nowhere with well water and an outhouse and no electric, and you're off the grid. We are not off the grid. We are in town. We're on the edge of town, backed by forest, with big open fields in front of us, and more fields just down the road with a bunch of cows. But we are within city limits, and we have the power grid, and I have 2 internet connections. city water, and yeah, so I am not off-grid. But we call it a homestead because it works great for algorithm. That's what's on the other YouTube channel. And technically it is, because we have, you know, boatloads of ducks and chickens and cats. And we did have garden, but the iguanas were an issue. Mostly it was the ducks. The ducks killed the garden. The ducks don't let anything live. But another, you know, at least we have lots of trees now, because when we first moved in, I think we had 1 tree on the whole property, and now we have 10 or 12 trees, which were a pain in the butt to grow, but we got them over 4 years. The ducks can't kill those. Man, they killed all the flower beds. They killed all the grass. Ducks, those muscovies are something else, man. Oh, that's mead, not healing potions. A brace of conies. Are there taters, precious? I don't see any taters. Is there a warm apple pie? Oh, there's gonna be a lever to Cliffshade Cellar. One day I will play Starfield, says Raven, and also the Star Wars Genesis Overhaul Pack. Bubbleonia has been streaming the Genesis Pack. And it's quite cool. I think I have one more vanilla run in me for Starfield before I start doing all the mod stuff. But it's been cool to watch him play it, because it's a pretty awesome mod. It is a pretty awesome mod. It really is. For sure. That's technically what it is, Allie. Residential home with surrounding land and agriculture outbuildings. I don't have any outbuildings, but we do have a self-sufficient farm for the most part. We very rarely have to buy eggs because we have all our own eggs. Our ducks are producing in excess of eggs. We cannot consume all of the eggs our ducks produce, so we've been giving them away and selling them. We butcher our own chickens, we butcher our own ducks. We do buy red meat from a local butcher shop, which is from a local ranch down the road. But I would say about 80%, maybe 85% of the meat we produce, or we consume, excuse me, is what we produce. The exception is fish and red meat. We do buy fish and red meat, but we live on a river, so there's fresh fish. And then there's ranches all over the place, and there's that mosquito again. I don't know why it's like, baby, I love your breath. It smells so delicious with that coffee and the fact that you haven't brushed your teeth yet this morning. Oh, delicious. Let me smell that skanky stank. There's something in there that's just a word of forms. I've lived in apartment buildings before. I'm familiar with the block of flats. Yeah, neighbors suck. Oh, God damn, it's right here in this middle somewhere. I remember one time, this is years ago when I was like 20 to 22, was around the time when I lived there, and I was on the second floor of an apartment complex, and my downstairs neighbors were fucking horrible. The upstairs neighbors were all cool. All 3 of my upstairs neighbors, because there were 4 apartments on each floor. So everybody else was cool, but my downstairs neighbors were not cool. Like, if the TV was turned up too loud, they would bang on the ceiling with like a broom or something because you could hear him down there. Bam, 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 bam. Even if the TV was like turned up. So like I could never listen to TV at a reasonable volume. If I ever tried to listen to music ever, they would bang on it, and it was always like, it was just, I don't know who they were, but they were super sensitive to sound, and also the fact that it was an apartment, you know, and the sound carries in apartments. But like, I always got pissed because it was like I can't even watch TV, like I can't even watch a movie without having people banging on my. That was like 2.5 years or something that I dealt with that. Upstairs neighbors were cool though; they were all really cool. We'd hang out and chat, but yeah. Downstairs neighbors sucked.
Never should have come here. What was that?
Well, we still have neighbors here, but like,
Time to end this little.
we get along with all of our neighbors. The only one who is mildly annoying is just there's a lady behind us who also borders the forest, and she'll burn trash like once a week, sometimes more frequently. But she'll usually burn trash on like a Sunday, and that's the only thing. It's like mildly annoying because it's like we get all the. It depends on the day, but the trash smoke will blow towards our house. We gotta really quickly like run around and shut all the windows because otherwise the smoke just like comes in the house and it's trash smoke. But that's like the only annoyance we have. Other than that, we have we have a pretty cool place. Very nice neighbors. Everybody here has animals, so no one cares. It's like that lady who burns trash, she raises pigs. All of our neighbors have ducks, chickens, mini chickens, geese. What else? Somebody has something else and I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Yeah, this is the way. I mean, owning property is cool, but man, I always rented fully furnished apartments.
Someone there?
For like the entire time I was traveling the world, and I loved it. Like,
I think you're bleeding.
I only had bad neighbors for that 2-year span when that was back in the U.S. But I've had fully furnished apartments in
We're going to make them pay.
Sofia, Bulgaria, Bogota, Colombia, Cancun, Mexico, Playa del Carmen. Actually, Playa del Carmen we rented a house. Mexico City, never had problems with neighbors. But the thing I've always loved about furnished apartments is I don't have to worry. I just literally show up with my backpack, you know, laptop bag, camera bag, and clothes. And so for Chris and I, furnished apartments were always very, very nice because you don't need to worry about furnishings. And now that we own the place, I always rented because it was like, you know, I don't have to have a mortgage and I don't have to worry about things like the water heater and the air conditioner and, oh shit, there's a crack in the roof. I have to spend $10,000 to repair the roof now. So home ownership and owning a homestead comes with its own complications. It is worth the price though. But yeah, like, I'm trying to think, like, we've had 5 or 6 plumbing issues crop up. I got shocked 2 days ago trying to change a light bulb because the outside outlet, the outside fixture is not wired properly. So I climbed up on the ladder and I unscrewed the light, and when I went to screw it back in, I reached up and grabbed the socket and immediately got shocked and was like, oh, that's not right. And went up again. I was like, that's not supposed to happen. Like, I'm not supposed to be getting shocked when I touch the socket. And then I reached up and grabbed it again and immediately got shocked again. So something's fucked up with the light socket and not wired properly, and it's 20-year-old wiring. So it's like, thankfully I just was able to reach up there and just, you know, loosely screw it in, and get it to the point where I could flip the light on. But that needs to be fixed, obviously. There's a short somewhere that's not, you know, and that's like, I don't want to do that, so I'll hire somebody to do that. We have the rooftop expansion going on because it was too hot in here. You need more protection from the sun. There's no insulation in this house. Do I spend the money to get insulation in the house, or do I just leave it as it is? We've had flooding issues every year because the drainage at this property sucks ass. And so we have to always be conscious of when it pours down rain. We can't go anywhere if it's going to pour down rain because we have to be on site to make sure that the corridor where the water drains doesn't get clogged with like branches and leaves and debris. Otherwise it'll flood the whole house. So yeah, there are quirks, and you have to worry about all this shit. You don't have to worry about any of that when you rent. You can just shove it off on the landlord. The dream of a tiny home in the middle of the forest. That's been my dream for a long time, but I'll be honest, Allie, as I've gotten older, I appreciate having, like, access to medical facilities and doctors and things of that nature, and the farther you live outside of city in a forest, the harder it is to, like, have access to all the things you want access to. There's a price you pay for being out in the middle of nowhere. I love the idyllic, peaceful nature of it. The fact that I can grow my own garden, put whatever I want in that garden, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, and nobody can say otherwise. No neighbors, none of that stuff. But then it's like, well, then if I want to do anything, I got to go to town. I have to have a vehicle. I have to deal with traffic. I got to find parking, and I don't know. I do enjoy being closer to things, but I still do imagine it may happen at some point. But we have definitely modified our plans for what we wanted to purchase as our forever home in the 4 years we've been here. We had ideas at the beginning of those 4 years, and those ideas have definitely changed a bit. Both of those are worth a chunk of change. Can I don't know that I have anything. Oh, that's armor. Yeah, I don't care about the armor. Which one does is it the whetstone that allows you to, or the workbench? I always forget. This is for weapons. I don't have steel. Tainted Grail's a good game. We were supposed to play that this morning, but I just wasn't in the mood for something dark today. Like, I woke up and was like, I don't want to do dark and gritty. I just want to do something. It's like the other morning I went and did Starfield for the morning because I wanted comfort food. I'm just in the mood for something that gives me comfort to play as opposed to a game that requires a little more thought, if that makes sense. Anyway, going back to the property in the woods. Sunday we're going to do Destiny 2. I got turned around. That's the way back out. Tomorrow we've got Destiny 2. And then I'm not sure what after. I'll probably play some Tainted Grail this afternoon. Or we may do it this morning. I've been feeling pretty good with the glasses, and I don't need to go anywhere today that I'm aware of. So what we might do is a few hours of Skyrim and then turn around and do a couple hours of Tainted Grail after a quick break for like breakfast or something. And then come back in the afternoon and do my last session of Hightail. Anyway, mountain property. I love the idea of having a nice place with a little river running through it. Not even a river, sorry, just a little creek. But the reality is something like that it costs so much money to buy something with water on it. Like any property with water is immediately, you're looking at 500,000 plus. And if you want something that's in reach of facilities like a hospital and other stuff, so you're within driving, 15, 20 minutes of town. Now you're talking a million plus. So it's even where I live, even here. Like my brother and I went looking for property about four. No, it's longer than that. Maybe 6 months ago, we went looking for property because he was asking me to take a look at some stuff, and so we went digging. And everything we were looking for that was something that he would be, want to buy for him and the wife and the kids was, small, but something where they could have space for animals with water on it and everything. Everything was a million plus. It was all a million plus. Trying to find something with water on it is, I mean, that's the next. It's as precious. Water is as precious as oil. Like if you've got water rights in your property, you're set. So that's a tricky one. But I like the idea of having water running through the property. Go down and have a picnic and everything. But it's not within my budget at the moment. I am not an uber rich streamer. I can afford the non-water property.
The others have probably prepared Kodlak's funeral by now. Come up to the sky.
But who knows what the next 5 years will hold. But I've always wanted like a writing studio, and Chris and I talked about having a writing studio for me and a art studio for her where she can go draw and do sculpting and stuff. And we could do it here, yeah. But the reality is if you do it here, where we live, in this area, property is cheap, but it's also ungodly hot during the summertime. And it's like if you build any sort of structure, you're gonna need air conditioning during the summer months.
Who will
That's just
start?
it's an impossibility.
I'll do it. Before the ancient flame,
We grieve.
we
We
grieve.
grieve.
We weep.
We weep. For the fallen.
We shout.
And for ourselves.
We take our leave.
So say we all.
His spirit is departed. Members of the Circle, let us withdraw to the Underforge to grieve our last together.
Don't you have to worry about snakes and spiders and stuff where you live, Allie? Australia is dangerous to live in the bush, right? I've seen some
Do you
horrible
have the fragments of Wuthrad
video
still?
clips
I'll need to prepare them for mounting again.
of the wildlife in Australia.
Don't get too flowery.
I would be
on me,
scared to
lad.
live in the wilderness in Australia.
Of course, I have a small favor to ask of you. There's another piece that Kodlak always kept close to himself. Would you go to his chambers and bring it back for me? I'm not sure I'm the best one to go through his things. Thank you. I'll be here.
Okay. Dribrom says that Barrel Baron game I started to play is really good if you like tycoon games. Nice. For anybody who doesn't know what he's talking about, he dropped a link in the gaming section of our Discord the other day. Go check that out. Oh. Is that a hammer? my dreams, I see the origins start with Isgramor. Each of them ascends to Sovngrad until we come to Tyrfik, who first turned us to the ways of the beast. He tries to enter, but before he can even approach, he is set upon by a great wolf who pulls him into the hunting grounds, where Hirsine laughs with welcoming arms. Hirsine regretful, but also eager to join after a lifetime of service as a beast. Then I see every next harbinger turn away from Sovngarde to enter the hunting grounds of their own accord until it comes to me, and I see great soon on the misty horizon beckoning me. It appears I have a choice, and then at my side a stranger I had not seen before. As I look into his eyes, we turn to see the same wolf which dragged away Tyrfug, and he and I draw weapons together. I realize this is only a dream, but a strong enough dream to inspire a man like me to take to writing, so it must be of some import. Yeah, the weight limit in survival mode. Yeah, that's why I'm not doing survival mode Korean Gamer. I have no desire to do that.